The largest air attack on Ukraine since the beginning of the Russian invasion. The Russian Bear, after more than 1,000 days of fighting, and sends the White Squadron to finish off Zelensky's remaining soldiers, and NATO's air defenses are helpless against his missiles. It's a difficult night for Ukraine and its allies. A nuclear storm this time, launched by White Squadron bombers towards the depths of Ukraine, and rained it with more than 80 winged missiles that turned Kiev and its defense systems into a burning mass of flames. What are these bombers that have invaded Ukraine? What are these missiles they've launched, and why did the air defenses fail to detect them? In this episode, we'll be uncovering the truth behind these mysteries. Stay tuned. White Squadron attack. The calm before the storm. This is the most accurate description of the war raging on the eastern borders of the European continent after the complex attack last November by the White Squadron bombers, which included 7 Tupolev 160M and 16 Tupolev 95MS aircraft. In a stunning display of precision and power, the squadron launched up to 80 Kh-101 winged missiles with conventional warheads, inflicting massive damage to Ukrainian arms depots and some missile systems. The Tupolev 160 bombers that led the White Squadron attack are known for their immense firepower and long range, but since his war on Ukraine, Putin has used them very sparingly due to their small number of only 16 aircraft and ongoing modernization efforts. The Tupolev 160 bomber, known as the White Swan, features multi-mode variable angle wings, where the pilot can choose the degree of curvature of the wings from 20 degrees to 65 degrees, which increases its efficiency in takeoff and landing in different modes. Its crew consists of 4 people, while its dimensions are 54 meters long, 13 meters high, the distance between its wings is 55 meters, and its empty weight is 110 tons, while its maximum payload is 175 tons of ammunition. The White Swan is powered by 4 Kuznetsov NK-32 turbofan engines that propel the Tu-160 bomber to a maximum speed of 2 Mach with a flight range of 12,300 kilometers without refueling in the air and an altitude of 16,000 meters, and it can fly for 15 hours continuously without refueling. The Tu-160 contains 2 internal weapon bays, each with 20 suspension points for various ordnance, including nuclear bombs, thermal bombs, ballistic and airborne missiles. In 2006, the bomber underwent some modifications to prepare it to carry K-55 cruise missile launchers that can carry conventional or nuclear warheads with a range of up to 3,000 kilometers to keep up with the technological development of enemy radars and to deliver nuclear strikes from outside the threat and danger zones. The modifications also included electronic warfare and targeting systems, and the aircraft's radar scattering and weather-resistant coating. Despite its size, the White Swan does not possess any defensive weapon, so it needs an air escort consisting of at least a fighter formation of 4 aircraft, usually 2 multi-mission aircraft such as Su-30s and 2 interceptors such as MiG-31s. This formation can suppress ground air defenses, destroy hostile air targets, and keep threats away from the White Swan. The technologies and electronic systems integrated into Russian strategic bombers are a topic shrouded in secrecy. But what is known about the Tu-160 is that it is equipped with a special Obsur attack radar different than other radars of this type, and the aircraft is equipped with a Spuka radar that gives the aircraft the ability to fly automatically at low altitude and track terrain, and the aircraft includes an electronic and optical bomb guide, in addition to an integrated electronic warfare unit for both defense and offense at the same time. Tupolev -95 Flying Bear. The legendary Tupolev Tu-95 Bear, the pride of the Russian Air Force, has long been a formidable opponent to the bombers of the United States and Europe. During the Cold War, it served as the heart and backbone of the Soviet Union's military might. In the midst of the new war, it ignited in Ukraine, the Tu-95 has once again become one of the most dangerous Russian weapons on the planet. It has the power to destroy European metropolises and capitals in just a few hours. The Tu-95 is an impressive bomber that can carry 16 air-to-surface cruise missiles inside the airframe, in addition to 6 external suspension points that can also carry the same missiles. But that's not all. It can also carry up to 28 tons of nuclear munitions. Some versions of the Tu-95, which Russia has equipped with radiation shielding, are capable of carrying out nuclear bomb attacks, and it is possible that one of them can capable of carrying 4 nuclear bombs in one sortie and dropping them in stages or in one go. According to Russian media, 35% of the Russian nuclear warheads, which number about 7,000 nuclear warheads, can be carried out through air bombers, and of this huge number, the Tu-95 has the lion's share, as it is the most widely used bomber in the Russian Air Force, unlike other types of aircraft with similar missions. As for defensive weapons, the Tu-95 has a machine gun at the front of the aircraft, and another at the rear, both of which are Nudelman Richter NR-30, with 30mm caliber and have a range of up to 9,200 meters, and a firing rate of 850 projectiles per minute per gun. The Tupolev 95 is 49.5 meters long, 51.1 meters wide and 12.12 meters high, and weighs 90 tons empty and 188 tons at maximum load, including 65 tons of ammunition. The huge bomber is powered by 4 turboprop engines, produced by the Soviet company Kuznetsov, and the engines generate a combined thrust of 44,500 kilowatt, allowing the aircraft to climb at a speed of 13 meters per second to an altitude of 16,300 meters, with a maximum speed of 900 kilometers per hour, 750 kilometers per hour in normal and economic mode, with operational range of 12,500 kilometers. The Tu-95 requires a basic crew of 4 people, and on some flights, the crew can be expanded to 9 people, depending on the duration of the flight and the type and nature of the mission. Hunter X-101. Incredible missiles, known as KH-101 or KH-102, differing only in warhead type, it measures 6 meters in length, 51 centimeters in width, and weighs between 2,650 and 3,350 kilogram. Its maximum speed reaches 800 kilometers per hour only, but its flight at altitudes of less than 100 meters makes it sufficient speed to not be intercepted by ground defenses. And at these altitudes, it is blocked from being seen by conventional radars. And this is one of its strengths that provided it with the stealthy ability to strike defensive systems and make gaps in them in front of missions of warplanes or other winged missiles. They have a range of up to 4,000 kilometers, enough to launch them from the air toward any target not only in Ukraine, but in the entire European continent, whose air defenses may not be able to stop them. The X-101 is launched from airborne platforms only. There are no ground-launched versions available, and although it shares many similarities with the Kalibr missile shares many similarities, it is more accurate and more dangerous. The missile is propelled by a turboprop engine that uses liquid fuel. This engine is characterized by its simplicity, low manufacturing costs, and low fuel consumption, which has positively impacted the missile's range. Winged Silent Hunter strike Ukraine. The Russian Hunter missile is one of the few winged missiles capable of carrying nuclear or biological warheads, but its use so far has been for thermal, vacuum, fission, and concussion warheads that penetrate underground fortifications. The warhead weighs up to 550 kilograms, equivalent in power to the Russian Fab 1500, or the American GBU-39, the most dangerous of all aerial bombs. The greatness and danger of this type of bomb lies in the engineering of its explosion, as the thermal or vacuum head in it works to react and burn oxygen and nitrogen atoms in the atmosphere, creating a vacuum in the blast area. And when this vacuum is filled, 2 states of differential atmospheric pressure occur, the first a sudden drop and the second a sudden rise, at a speed about 60 times higher than the speed of sound, which leads to the disruption of the walls and structural structure of buildings and their destruction in a few fractions of a second, turning them into rubble. As for the fortification-piercing warheads, known conventionally as concussive, They are hundreds of kilograms of explosive materials of different densities and molded so that they explode successively with a time difference that cannot be observed or measured, to direct the pressure of the explosion in a specific direction and not randomly. And the purpose of this engineering is to make the warhead penetrate fortifications. And indeed, the missile explosion penetrated 11 meters thick concrete and succeeded in penetrating a reinforced concrete with a width of 4.8 meters. And the blast penetrated 130 centimeters of steel. This year, the Russian Ministry of Defense showed pictures of a Ukrainian Patriot system that was completely destroyed. And if not for the fact that pieces remained from the door of the vehicle carrying the platform, none of the experts would have recognized it, indicating that it was attacked by a high-precision winged missile. Considering that Russian winged missiles capable of hitting such a target are counted on the fingers of one hand, military observers suggested that the missile used was the KH-101 due to its characteristics of maneuverability, concealment from radar systems, and accuracy in hitting. After these attacks and accurate injuries achieved by the Syad missile, NATO raised the danger index of this weapon in supposed defense scenarios, after Zelensky's army repeatedly failed to deter advanced Russian missiles, despite the massive mobilization of European weapons inside Ukraine. And now, dear viewer, it's your turn. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the White Squadron attack. How do you think NATO air defense can deter Hunter missile strikes in the event of a confrontation? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel.